Good evening, darts fans, and welcome to the Modus Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We've seen quite a few very good sessions already this week, and we are going to somewhat climactically finish off the qualifying for the Week 10 finals over the course of the next few hours. But before we get into Group B, Mace is with us once again. Great to have you as always.
Pleasure.
Group C this afternoon, it was two Welsh players that made their way through to Saturday night, Richie Burnett and David Davies. But David had quite a day, didn't he? Winning 5 out of 5.
Yeah, winning 6 out of 6 if you include the final match of yesterday's session. And the right two players progressed. I should imagine Richie was a little frustrated not to get the little Brucey bonus for topping the group, but ultimately for him, it's job done. He's into the final. But David Davies was my pick yesterday to win this group. I'll be honest, I didn't really expect it after the day he had yesterday, but the reason I thought the 9-1 was too big because of what he did today, and ultimately it worked out to be the perfect storm. The right results went his way, but he did what he had to do. He went through the card 5 from 5 and ended up on top.
Well, let's have a look at the breakdown for the week, because we have had Tommy Morris into Saturday night for a couple of days now. So last chance for him to put his feet up tonight, because he will be here from 7:30 on Saturday. Sebastian Białowicz and the crew will be back for Group B in the next few minutes, but David Davies and Richie Burnett getting through in Group C. So tonight, everything is promising, isn't it?
Yeah, we give it the big build-up, didn't we, for the last few days. It didn't really matter who came out of Group A and went into this one. We knew it was going to be special. Didn't disappoint. A mean average of all players throughout the whole session of nearly 93. That's right up there with some of the best numbers we've seen.
Well, the doubles, we'll get onto that in due course, because that was elite. But these were the highlights from Thursday night if you missed them, because I promise you don't want to miss tonight. Hang about. Double 19. Oh, boy, how good is that? This game continues. That might be the best 140 I've seen in a long time. But it didn't make any difference. He's got to find quality now. Otherwise, he might not throw again for the rest of the night. Double 14. That is brilliant.
Incredible, isn't it?
When we were sitting here last night, we were thinking that NIKO Springer could potentially bring us a great deal of quality. He didn't disappoint. He averaged 97 plus for the night, put in the second biggest average of the series, and based on the fact that it's Week 10, we've got a big sample size to go from. He really didn't disappoint, did he? No,
very, very special. You knew, listen, I'd seen bits of him on the Euro Tour, and you pointed him in the direction of me to watch him in the German Super League, which I've done. I watched him reach that final. A precocious talent, and there's an example of it, 110.59 against a very good Tommy Lishman, who averaged 102 himself. He's a special talent. He's a tour card holder. He's off to Ali Pali in December, and well, you did a great interview with him a little bit earlier, and there's a sparkle in his eye, and I think he wants to win this week and get himself in Champions Week.
It would be a great way to sign off. The only visit he's making here, but as well as NIKO played last night, we have to give the other 4 players credit as well, because the finishing from last night, well, tell the fans about it, because it really was that good.
Yeah, across the board, every player combined, their finishing stats was literally a couple of 0.0 something percent shy of 50%. If a player has a 50% checkout success in an individual match, you know, we give that the big one, and it's got to be mentioned because it was outstanding. And also, we were talking about Seb being a little bit one-paced. Across the whole of Group A, his running average was 86.62. His average last night was 80.61. I mean, within a 0.01. And it just shows you when a player is playing to type, they produce numbers with regularity, and that's what he's doing right now.
Well, let's have a look at the table and see what's happening before we get cracking tonight. NIKO Springer does lead with 6 points, marginally over Rhys Robinson, who had a brilliant recovery act after losing his first game. He won the next 3. But everybody is still involved at this point. But if you have a bad start tonight, you're going to be left in the cold.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Duff, in terms of numbers, like overall average for the night, wasn't that far off the pace of NIKO Springer. And he was, and rightly so, he felt a little bit hard done by, because a couple of matches he lost 4-3, he could have won, and that table would look different. Ultimately, it's just staying in that top 3. It don't matter whether you win tonight, come second or come third. It's all about getting in that final tomorrow night.
And you've been getting it spot on with the odds all week. I'm going to give you that credit because you deserve it. But let's have a look and see what it's like tonight. Springer the favourite at 4-5. We look at Neil Duff at 6-1. And they're going almost in order of the table. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, I suppose the only player on the same amount of points is NIKO Springer, and if he has a bit of a nightmare, which I just don't expect him to do, but then Reese would have to fend off Neil Duff, and right this second, Neil Duff is playing better darts statistically than Reese Robinson, but maybe Neil Duff a bit of value. But listen, I told everybody to back Springer before the off last night. Those that did, I'd leave it alone this evening.
I wouldn't blame them if they did, that's for sure. But Neil Duff last night played the 2 games in the final 3, and he didn't have a bad ending at all, but he's got 4 points coming into tonight. Tonight, everything is flipped around, so he plays game 1 and game 3. If he gets off to a bad start tonight, it could be a long night for Neil, waiting for his final game to try and get into the top 3. But we caught up with the Duff man before things started tonight, and a hot start he needs. Here's how he felt before he started practicing. Neil, always great to have you here on a Friday night. It's a busy couple of days for you, potentially, but how do you feel about how you played last night?
Last night I went back to the house and just kind of sat and absorbed it and thought I probably should have got more than what I did out of it. Felt like I played well, getting back to the games, getting back to where I should be at the right time. But yeah, I was happy the way I played. But yeah, and tonight I have to be on the right side of the 4-3s. You know.
Yeah, it makes sense because the level of play from everybody last night, it was stunning at times. But you're in a promotional position at the minute to get to another Saturday. It would be a rather fitting end to the year for you to get yourself in the frame for a 5th weekly win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that Steve West is probably sitting at home with his fingers crossed, you know. Yeah, me and him has been battling it out just for this bragging rights. But yeah, it's always on a personal level. It's always nice to get a win down here, and I've kind of become accustomed to it now. So to get dragged in at the last minute because I was playing the ADC tomorrow. Yeah, it could be a busy weekend, but it could be very productive as well.
Tomorrow is going to be a good day for you because you are in the ADC Winmore Championship Tour Finals, but you could have to play in 2 sessions on a Saturday. That would be a first for you.
Well, playing actually a lot of the seniors, when you get through till the finals day, you play in the morning, then you play again in the evening. So I became used to how to manage that time in between. So yeah, listen, I'm healthier now. I'm fitter now than I have been. I've obviously slimmed down a bit, and yeah, I know I can do a full day of playing. So yeah, I'll be ready for it.
You're looking fabulous, and you're playing fabulous. So have a great night tonight, Neil. All the best.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Always great to have a chat with Neil, who is always very honest and candid. A great dart player and a world champion as well. But now it's back to business on Friday night at the Live Lounge. He starts in 3rd position up against the person who is in 5th at the minute. If the 20-year-old from Poland can get the win against Duffman, he can equalise his points position. 52-year-old from Ballyclare, nicknamed the Duffman, a 4-time weekly winner, and we somewhat teased Neil with the possibility of a 5th weekly title, which I'm sure Steve West would accept if he gets it. He would have some company at the top of the all-time list of weekly winners. But this group, it simply has been that good. And if tonight is anything like Thursday night, you do not want to miss a trick.
Game on.
The numbers were off the scale for the Modus Super Series. And if they remain that way, Sebastian Białowski has to find about 4 to 5% tonight.
Yeah, he's got to find another gear. His numbers for last
44.
night, 88.62. Neil Duff, 96.59. And finishing of well in excess of 40%. But as they say, darts is very much
25.
on the day.
I don't think I've ever seen any group campaign for a day where they are touching 50%
81.
on doubles.
No, I don't remember one. Not for the entire group. Individuals, yes, but not the entire group.
Here we go again.
180.
He slotted a few of those away last night. Had 9, which is only matched
95.
by the man at the top of the table, NIKO Springer. But yeah, Neil Duff's last night was actually 53.85%. NIKO Springer's 46.88.
Well, the funniest thing about it,
26.
not that Tommy Lishman is laughing, but he had 9 hits at a double from 21 for 42.8%. And that was the worst.
And Białowski, who finds himself at the bottom,
140.
he had 20 opportunities at a double and hit 10 of them.
So if you get a shot tonight, you better hit it.
Yes, it was ruthless last night.
60. Sebastian, you require 141.
And Sebastian is the person who was able to stop NIKO Springer in his tracks. That was his best game by some distance.
125.
Yeah, he averaged 99, didn't he? And ironically, the the only player to beat the player at the top was the player at the bottom. A strange anomaly.
60. Sebastian, you require 16.
Well, if you've had him 180 in the middle of the leg and you're on 150 after 15, something has gone a bit wrong.
Game shot on the first leg.
And he's lost that
Sebastian
first leg.
Białowski.
Scores of 26 and 2 60s afterwards. So
Second leg, it's Neil to
the highs were
first.
high, the lows were
Game
low,
on.
and now it's got to meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, all the hard work of the Max was undone by 2 ordinary
97.
visits. Congratulations to Mickey Mansell, who came through well, it couldn't have been any tighter against Menzies, winning 6-5. And Martin Lutman and Rob Cross locked up at 10-10.
140.
We did say that Neil looks very svelte at the minute. He talked about it in his interview. He feels healthier.
96.
He thinks it will be of great benefit to him when he plays here and when he plays in other tournaments because, let's face it, he's here tonight. He's going to be here tomorrow afternoon and he would like to play tomorrow night again.
Yeah, well,
135.
having had many years of away and then, well, I came back briefly a couple of years ago to play in this. But having the last
93.
3 months been absolutely focused on the darts and not going to the gym, eating what I want, drinking what I want, I feel incredibly sluggish. And I totally understand the benefits that Neil will be feeling. By the way, back to normal next week.
92.
It has been a thoroughly enjoyable 3 months, but I don't think I've felt worse in the last 10 years of my life.
Well, he may have learnt something about himself from week 1 of this
83.
series. He did play in week
Sebastian, you
1.
require 134.
And that was off the back of playing the previous 2 weeks. And that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, you don't have to make many changes, but just having that little bit
94.
of extra that you
You
can give.
require 132.
Doesn't get the treble 19. So, Białowski, for the ideal start,
92.
would like to get rid of this
Sebastian,
before
you
Neil gets a
require
sniff.
40.
Double 5. Took his time
35.
on that one. Was slightly
You
out of rhythm.
require
Yeah.
40.
Too long.
Game shot on his second
Paid the
leg.
price.
Nils up.
One thing that is on the mind of Sebastian
Third
tonight, I'm
leg. It's
sure,
Sebastian to throw first.
is that he has never missed
Game
a
on.
Saturday when he's come here. And this may indeed be the last session that we see Sebastian Białowski, because if he doesn't get through tonight,
85.
he's not coming back.
Well, he is another player, of course, like NIKO, who has a tour card.
60.
That's unlucky. Oh, unfortunate.
I know that Białowski is scheduled to play in the ADC Global Championship here just before Christmas, but the only way he's playing that
100.
is if he's not at Alexandra Palace. He could still qualify for that via the Eastern European qualifier in Slovakia in a couple of weeks.
What a great position to be in.
I always say that
59.
if your worst case scenario is not that bad, then you shouldn't feel a great deal of pressure.
Yeah, and he'll go to those qualifiers knowing that there's a plan B. That's a lovely scenario.
100.
I know he'll want to get back to Ali Pali. He was there last year, and he really enjoyed it.
60.
But I assure you, he does not want this to be his last day in a Modus Super Series venue. He'd like to go out on a high. He'd like to be back in Champions Week.
100.
And one thing we know about Neil,
45.
his ambitions
Sebastian
lie
require
away from the
116.
PDC system. He's a Super Series Seniors ADC guy.
He wants to get his hands back on that WDF trophy, which he will be playing in, of course, in a few weeks' time.
76.
You won't find many people who would back against him. He's going to be sharp enough.
99. Sebastian, you require 40.
Don't make the same mistake twice. Wow.
Game shot on the third leg.
Is this
Sebastian
1986 or is this 2024? Please explain, Mace.
Eric Bristow.
Fourth flag. It's Neil to throw first.
I have not seen
Game on.
that for decades. And he's only been alive for 20 years.
Yeah. He's probably never even seen it.
140.
I think someone's having a love affair with 32.
Well, I like that. If there's a double you don't fancy, why not split it? I remember
140.
watching Luke Littler do it when he wanted 36. He was like, not going for double 18, 16 straight and double 10. And I had that. We were talking about that
50.
John Lowe game I lost when I was 5-0 up at the match play. Started missing tops and tens, but I didn't adjust. You know, I had 50 left to go in 10 for tops. I mean, I've missed about 18 darts at it. Rather than going, right, let's change it up.
140.
And who was the last person here to beat Luke Littler?
Yeah, the man currently leading 2-1.
100.
Well, it has to be said, his form at that time was far superior to the display that he's produced this week.
There have been times, though, when he
134.
needs to switch it on. He does. If there's one thing he can take from Thursday night, it's when he played Springer.
6.
He turned up.
Sebastian, you require 87.
And this game, he is turning up.
Ball.
62. Neil, you require 151.
So close.
$60.
He gets another
Sebastian,
chance.
You require 25.
If Białowski wins this game, this table descends into chaos.
17. Neil, you require 91.
Like you say, Nico, he doesn't know what it's like to not qualify.
16 leaves 75. That is a beautiful marker. Oh,
66.
he won't believe he's missed that.
Sebastian, you require 8.
Interesting, but it was a beautiful guide. Agreed.
Double one. And he's had
No
plenty of
score.
chances in this game.
Neil, you require 25.
He's had 11 darts at a double.
Game shot
And
of
the
full
person
flag,
feeling
Neil Duff.
aggrieved right now is Sebastian. But he's got nobody to blame but himself, unfortunately.
5th flag, it's Sebastian to throw first.
Well, this
Game on.
could be home and hose for Seb.
In the middle portion of that 4th leg, Sebastian was averaging 100
97.
and a little bit more. And his opponent was a good 25 points behind him. It just goes to show if you miss the outer ring or the bullseye, this game,
135.
it can creep up on you and make you feel very bad indeed. He has to bounce back again, because if he does lose to Duff, he's going to have a 4-point gap between himself and the Duff man.
45.
Sure, there was a song about darts, Joy and Pain. Gives you equal measures of both.
85.
It just feels like he's added maybe 1/3 of a
82.
second on that approach of the dart. It looks a little deliberate.
Yeah, it's a little bit more measured.
60.
He's fortunate that Neil Duff has not really turned up with the game that we saw last night. If he had,
Well, I don't want to astound you, but my take on numbers, Sebastian's average is 88.6.
137.
His weekly numbers is 88.6 and a smidge.
so he's in his comfort zone right now.
140.
That's his
Sebastian, you require 140.
flatline graph number.
Tremendous last dart.
Neil, you require 81.
But this could be where the game turns. Neil hasn't led yet.
75.
And he might not.
Sebastian, you require
There's no
40.
part of Duffman that thought he wasn't going to hit that double 12 or double 6. He
Game
didn't
shot
go
of
in double
fifth
16
flag,
that
Sebastian
time.
Białecki.
Yeah, this is the worst possible start for
6th
Neil
flag,
Duff.
it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
It would be an ideal start for Białecki if he can make a winning start against a player that we know has the potential to
83.
do damage against every other player in this group.
Neil's place in the top
6.
3 is safe, even if he loses this match. He has a healthier leg difference. The problem is,
100.
he could see Rhys Robinson and NIKO Springer flying further ahead of him over the next couple of matches. Duff will play game 3 against Springer.
96.
And I assure you of this, Springer will play more than a 90 average.
Absolutely. This version of Neil Duff needs to stay in the
6.
practice room.
You know Neil maybe a little bit better than I do, Chris. If he's a bit cheesed off with the first performance, how do you expect him to recover from that?
140.
come out punching. He'll come out swinging. He'll go back in that practice room, give himself a stern talking to. Get straight on the practice board, and well, he hasn't got long to dwell.
57.
And it's a really big game, the next one, as you said, against NIKO, and he's going to have to find a much, much improved level of play to make it even remotely competitive.
This is the problem of having 2 of the first 3 games. If the first game doesn't go well,
141.
he might have as little as 12 minutes to recover.
And that's been the story. Just
45. Sebastian
won't nestle in, and
64.
they're nestling on the wires.
This is to win the match. For Mr. Perfect in making Saturday,
Game shot. And
he's
the
just
match,
given himself a
Sebastian
shot in the arm.
Białecki.
Białecki is now on 4 points alongside Neil Duff by winning his first game of the night. Exactly what he needed, but the ideal bounce back for Duff is possibly for him against the wrong person. He's got Springer in game 3. That's what we've just seen. Białecki does raise his level by about 4%, and that's what we said he had to do. But boy, did he have to rely on Neil Duff not showing up as well. So it's the perfect storm for the poll, and we'll take a short break. And when we come back, it's the turn of Lishman, who will be taking on Mr. Must-See. That is Rhys Robinson.
Very good dart. He's done it. Not today.
Yeah, there was a chance, but there's no chance there.
FG's taken over here, and he's
Definitely not him. It's definitely
he thinks
not
it's
him.
it.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm not giving you that.
We are getting the back end of the leg here, and it's not going to go the way I thought it was there. I was about to mention the fact that we do have that rule in place.
that is a great marker and a great win for Ginge, who goes through. Oh, he's found it already. He couldn't find the treble, but he can find the doubles, and he's found himself in the next round. Great dart. And I can't help but think that level 7 now. Oh, and he's found it. Sean Nyland has knocked out Darts for Fun, the favourite for the singles competition and the winner of the pairs.
I don't think is too bad an idea, considering how the first 18 darts have gone for Ellis.
This is the first time we're seeing tag team darts.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Making the most of it, lads.
Time supporter and friend
Okay,
of
no,
Ellis.
maybe not. Not 1 second. Okay. Up we
Hold
come.
on.
What's
We're
your
doing the
name?
same now.
Okay, Jaden, you require 74.
He knows where he's going. 56, double 20. Oh, that's a good effort. That's a very good effort. He throws a lovely dart. I think we should send one of them down and let one of them play against Jaden.
That's
a good dart.
Plenty of dartboard to use for one of the most unorthodox ways you'll ever see a semi-final being won.
And that is
It's a nervy game, a nervy encounter. He is the favourite now to go on and win it, and he's trying to get struggle today with a bit of nerves. And that extra moment, that little bit of pause, that little bit
good. Second dart.
calm down a little bit, just to relax into the game.
Oh, hold on. Yay! We have the first one coming into it, sir.
It's one of them things you either loves or hates in a darts time. And he loves it! But that is...
It's Angry Jim!
Welcome back to Portsmouth. And now it's the turn of Rhys Robinson. And he's up against Tommy Lishman, who would like to do exactly what Sebastian Białecki's just done. Getting a first win of the night, getting to 4 points. And if that happens for the 29-year-old from Hull, apparently the best ginger player in the middle of the country, according to him yesterday, you might have someone else from Hull having something to say about that. But if Lishman does get those 2 points, we will have 5 players separated by 2 points. And this group will be so unpredictable, a bit like the one that we saw this afternoon.
Yeah, which is, I find, far more exciting. But Reese, in this tie, which was the penultimate match of the session, he was
First leg, it's Tommy to
he was
throw
on a hot
first.
streak.
Game
96.04
on.
and a 4-1 win over Tommy. Congratulations to Martin Lukeman, who will play Mickey Mansell for a place in the Grand
91.
Slam final. He has defeated Rob Cross 16-11. Rob Cross misstarts NIKO
57.
for 6-1.
Now, if anybody predicted that Mansell would play Lukeman in the semis,
Yeah, do the lottery this weekend.
100.
yes, you're lying. Or you are from the future, and you already knew that. But predicting this group, impossible. Because a lot of people would have thought that Duff would get off the mark in his first game. He hasn't. He's got to bounce back
28.
after this one. First game last night, Lishman did get off the mark by beating Białecki with a very good performance.
108.
He is in the shoes that Duff was in last night. He will play 2 of the last 3 matches.
140. Tommy, you require 130.
It'll be interesting to see how much work he needs to do. He might even have to win them both.
But if you're in that position, at least you do know what you've got to do.
Game shot on the first
Well, he
leg.
knew how to
Tommy
do that.
Lishman.
Well, let's get into this then, shall we? Because that's the
Second
59th
leg, it's Reese to throw first.
ton plus
Game
finish of the week. We've had 37 finishes over 120.
That's the stat I find incredible.
22
26.
now of 130 or more. And 7 of 160 or more.
So we've had more finishes over 120 than we have under it.
134.
It's mind-boggling.
Reese can tend to be a little slow out of the blocks, and well, Tommy
58.
is absolutely firing. He started with a win last night, didn't he, against Seb, and it was a good performance. 92.26 the average.
121.
Yeah, when Reese played his first game yesterday, admittedly it was against Springer, but he was on a 9-match winning run. He hadn't lost
59.
since Tuesday afternoon. But if we can be more accurate to Friday night, he's lost once since Tuesday. That is quite a good run.
58.
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
But I don't think he can keep performing the way he has in this game so far and expect to win
134.
against Tommy, because he's never had a problem getting out of the blocks. Case in point.
140.
And anybody who has watched a little bit of the Grand Slam over the last few days should be mightily inspired by 2 so-called journeyman players making the Final 4
45.
of the
Tommy,
Slam
you
in
require
Wolverhampton,
48.
including the players here. Lishman for 2-0. Okay, I can get behind that. I can't get behind that, though.
No.
32.
Well, the only risk when you've got 48 doing that is if you hit the 48. And I mean the treble 16, not the 48
61.
checkout.
Tommy, you require 16.
We know he's definitely going to go for this. Double 4.
Game
Very
shot on the
well done
second
for
leg.
2-0.
Tommy Lishman.
Yeah, eventually tidied up.
Third leg, it's Tommy to throw
It's good
first.
stuff, this, NIKO.
Game on.
It is. He's averaging 100. And safe to say that Reese isn't.
81.
I'm trying to be fair to him. This is Reese still in the blocks. And Lishman is 50 metres down the track.
He's looking over his shoulder, having a cup of tea.
140.
That's better.
If this was a race, Reese could only win it if Tommy falls over.
81.
See, has he switched on?
140.
Yeah, you can't press the snooze button in best of 7.
No, you're never safe.
There's a bit of a snarl about Lishman in this match.
121.
He'd love to make a second Saturday. But somebody is going to have to win this group. 2 other players are going to progress, and 2 players can't get through. We're supposed to know who's about to do that, but in a group like this,
81.
it's very hard to predict.
Well, there's just too many dynamics.
I like that recovery.
57.
Well, if Tommy finds
Tommy, you
118
require
for yet
118.
another Ton Plus checkout this week for number 60, then Robinson is going to need to get the paddles out. Oh, there's the 18.
38. Reach required 24.
And
Gates
Reese
on
is not
third
up the
leg,
creek
Reece
yet.
Robinson.
And it was a much-needed breaker throat. He will need another one, of course,
Fourth
to
flag, it's Reese to throw
ultimately
first.
win this match.
Game on.
Reece Robinson is the kind of person that wakes up in the morning and doesn't have to think about what he's going to wear because he's always in all black.
108.
He's like Johnny Cash.
He was in all red then.
He's like Gary Player. He used to play in all black all the time. Apart from the days at the Open Championship in the 1960s when he used to wear a flat cap and it was a bit of brown.
140.
I can see Reese wearing a flat cap as well. But not at darts because that's not allowed.
It's very much all or nothing for Reese, isn't it?
Who sang that? All or nothing.
57.
I'm not sure, but I got a feeling you're about to find out.
108.
His turn to be all in red. That's his second of the tie.
Small face as it was. For some reason I thought it was the Kinks. I knew I'd get that wrong.
100.
And Reese is starting to find small spaces. And he needs to.
This has been a good response from Lishman.
65.
He'd love
Reach
to
required
re-establish that
164.
two-leg cushion.
Is there any reason why both of these guys can't get through this group? I'm sure they could because we've already got 2 Welsh players through Group C.
44.
Well,
Tommy, you
numerically
require
it's possible, isn't it?
116.
Absolutely. It is the whole derby after all. That doesn't help.
55.
That was one good dart and 2
require
dodgy ones.
120.
Still finds himself outside of single to double combination range.
You know what he went for?
Wow, that was double dipping on the old
57.
fireworks there. Went for 3
Tommy
tops.
requires 61.
Then he went 20 for 2 bulls. He was out of bullets when it came to dart 3. Double 18. Reese has been going to the Richie Burnett School of Dramatics.
Game shot on the
And he's now
fourth flag,
3-1
Tommy
down.
Lishman.
Well, he was the
Fifth leg
creator
is
of his
Tommy
own
to throw
downfall,
first.
isn't it?
Game
2-1
on.
down, looking to level in a match that you really have to win. 3 tops. There's a time and a place, and that was neither.
100.
It's a bit like Tyson Fury against Usyk when he was in the corner, just looking out at the crowd.
140.
Maybe he was just trying to get something going, but in a match like this, at that time, I know we're a bit old school, us, Mace, but I can't escape the fact that it didn't feel
90.
right.
No, listen, I love the creative element to the Reece Robinson game, but it's just doing it when
57.
you're meant to do it, and that wasn't it.
$121.
That'll work. I'll tell you what else would work as well. A 4-1 victory. That would get Lishman onto 4 points
58.
and on the same leg difference as Neil Duff. All of a sudden, Białecki would be bottom again.
And he's not done anything since winning.
We saw Paul Dulson today. He went top
140.
without throwing a dart in the middle of the schedule, and then by the end of it, he finished outside the top 2. It was topsy-turvy, to say the least.
85.
Oh, that looked uncomfortable.
Tommy, you require 50.
Not a good sign at all. And Lishman has got to unleash man. Double top.
Game shot.
Too
and
good
the match,
by Tommy.
Tommy Lishman.
And he wins the whole derby this time. He is firmly in play now. He's gone to 4th position. It's not a position that will get him through to Saturday, but boy oh boy, for the 2nd consecutive night, he has started very vibrantly and he's caught Reece cold. That is only the 2nd defeat for Reece since Tuesday. So he's got to recover when we see him again in Game 4 against Sebastian Białecki. We're going to see NIKO Springer for the first time tonight. Next, he's up against the Duff man, and boy was he impressive last night. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, and if you like your darts short and sweet and fast and furious, you've come to the right place, because on average each game that we have takes about 12 to 15 minutes. This one will probably be quicker than that, even if it's 7 legs. But Neil Duff must get going now. He has been caught on points by 2 players in the first 2 matches of the night, but the man from Mainz, nicknamed the Mainzer Bub. It's a Mainz thing.
Do you have a translation of what it actually is?
The Mainz boy.
Ah, right, okay. The boy from, yeah. I thought it sounded like a cake or a bun or something.
First
might be.
leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
But this is not the kind of game that you want to try and bounce back in. You're up against the best player in the group statistically and, I suppose, form-wise. But if they both turn up,
55.
this could be absolutely anything.
Yeah, and we try to explain that people that don't play darts think that
100.
every day is the same, but every match is different. Never mind every day being different. You can just pick them up some days and the timing's not there. You just don't have the feel. It
125.
just all becomes erratic, which what that then creates is you to start to fiddle.
180.
When everything is going well, of course, you just throw them without thinking.
And that's what NIKO does.
55.
We've known a fair bit about him over the last few years. We've seen him on the Euro Tour. We've seen him at the German Super League. We've seen him on the development tour in the Next Gen series with PDC Europe this year. But when you get to spend a few minutes with him, you understand that he is a genuinely lovely young man.
Yeah,
with ambition, and he's super clever.
136. NIKO, you require 81.
And he's very, very good. Do you need any more proof than that?
Leg, NIKO Springer.
That was the first leg of the night for him. It's a 12-darter.
Second leg, it's NIKO to throw first. Game on.
He could really run away with this group if he plays well tonight.
Yeah, I listened to the interview you did with him just before the off this evening, and
140.
he's sharp, good English, ambitious but realistic.
He's not deluded at all. He is very realistic about what's next, and he's doing everything right. Here we go again. I'm not going to mention his average until leg 3.
Fair.
80.
County games used to be best of 5, so I think that's fair, NIKO. Look at that.
105.
Forward thinking. It was a 12 in leg 1. Potential for an 11 in leg 2.
81. NIKO, you require 76.
Double top.
Game shot.
Another
Second
12.
leg, NIKO Springer.
I think we're starting to find out that the ceiling for this
Third
very
leg,
tall
it's Neil
young
to throw
German
first. Game on.
is not just literally high when it has to be for him when he walks in rooms, but in darts, my word,
140.
what's possible? That is a very short sentence, but I can honestly say
140.
I don't know where his ceiling is.
It is a exciting time when you see a talent like this emerge
100.
in front of your very eyes.
Well, you and I remember when Fabian Schmutzler came through. He was only a kid when he qualified for the World Championship, and we all thought he's going to be huge.
123.
2 very different cases, though.
Yeah, and that's the difference. You know, he's already been to school. He's got his qualifications. He's works in the justice system in Germany.
140.
He's not quitting his job or anything drastic like that. He understands this is he's playing the long game.
58.
Quite apt with them arms,
Neil,
actually.
you require 121.
He's got the build of a rower. Great response from Duff.
105.
Isn't it ever? He's left double 8 after 12. Watch him leave tops after 12. Your T-shirt, Nico.
140.
He's going to need a
Neil, you
3XL.
require 16.
Neil knows he can't miss. And he
Yeah, shot on
doesn't.
the third
Full
leg,
credit to
Milter.
Duffman for that.
Yeah, held it all together well on that last start. Could have so easily pushed that one in.
Fourth flag. It's NIKO to throw
Well,
first.
you said you weren't going to mention him,
Game on.
Nico. There you go.
It was taken out of my hands.
140.
Well, the record is Darryl Pilgrim's, of course, 122.69. That is genuinely under threat.
100.
He would nick it with a couple more 12s. But that first dart. That is a disappointing
100.
ton.
It is after dart 1, because normally you would just follow it in.
He spends too much time being positive, though.
140.
Some dart players that we've seen today, they get a ton from that first dart. They would flap and flail and maybe think too much. NIKO just brushes it off.
Yeah. He's not emotionally invested.
100.
And I think that may be what he learnt from that match in the final against Florian Hempel. That could have been a massive lesson for him.
100. NIKO, you require 161.
If he wants a 12, this has got to go.
97.
That's not bad.
Neil, you require 161.
What can Duff find to try and get back into this one?
$65.
That's all he can
NIKO,
do
you
is get to the
require
2 darter,
64.
just like NIKO. He has a chance of 3-1.
32.
I tell you what,
Neil, you
that's
require
advanced throwing.
96.
That second 16 was put there on purpose as a guide and a range finder, a weight finder.
He went for the 60, and I think that was the right play as well.
56. NIKO, you require 32.
But it could be a 2-leg cushion once again. Wow.
Shot on the fourth flag. NIKO
I really
Springer.
thought that first one was too close. But from his vantage point, he will see it very differently to
Fifth
what
flag.
we
It's
do.
Neil to throw
Yeah,
first.
just from the
Game on.
height that the dart's coming in at.
There won't be many dart players who walk through the doors at the Modus Super Series who will look
140.
down on NIKO Springer. Maybe Jimmy Van Schie, and that's about it.
140.
You know what they say about catapults? The longer they are, the longer the thing you project will go. And NIKO's got a couple of catapults there for arms.
100.
If he ever doesn't want to be a dart player, he could be one of those arm-flailing inflatable tube men.
91.
And again, good thinking. Going for the 51.
It's the way the Germans play.
60.
Efficient. Knows Lucas Wenig very well. Does this young man. And
6.
he's already won a title here before.
And a thoroughly nice guy too.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a bench next to him.
No, he's a thick-set fella.
82.
Oh, that one stings a bit. He was looking to leave something south of 100. Wow, what a shot that is. And now Duffman needs to hit this
Neil, you
awkward
require
shot.
119.
He's not going to.
59.
And
Nico, you
Springer
require
could
36.
embellish on his personal best from last night.
Game shot and the match. Nico Springer.
And he does. That is sublime. Wow, that is the best we've seen in this series as well. Nico Springer is for real. The first time 112 has been breached in Series 9. And he has done that with 3 missed darts at a double. So his ceiling is something we haven't quite seen yet, is it? But that's the ideal start, and Springer's got 8 points. He's very close to qualifying, and he's got one more game before the halftime break against Tommy Lishman. Robinson and Białecki next. It's going to be possibly their last meeting of the week.
It's Phil, the Power Taylor. Dazzler, Glenn Durant. Game, shot, and a match. It's Wolfie, Martin, Adam. Jackal King of Bling, the Dazzler, Bobby George. Game, shot, and
Welcome back. I sincerely hope you saw the last match, because Nico Springer has shown us the best level of any player in this series. Prior to that 112.05 average from the German, 111.34 in week 6 from Champions Week participant Tom Sykes. That was the best. And now they've all got another benchmark to follow. He has the potential to be maybe the best German player in the world. But this is the infancy of his career. These two have met
leg, it's Reese to
4
throw
times
first.
already this week.
Game on.
Well, there's many reasons why I'm personally confident that he is going to go on and have a great career. He's not got to worry about growing anymore.
140.
He's through all of that schooling and uni and all those kind of distractions. And he's smart. And he's sensible.
100.
And in times gone by, if I may play devil's advocate, there would be some players on tour who would say, well, we'll figure out a way to ruin him.
78.
But that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
these young stars, it's like they're wrapped in Teflon.
57.
And they're not bothered by what other people do. They just turn up, they play, and they leave.
Well, I think where it was different from our time, where you'd sort of go from
59.
0 to being thrown into the bear pit. Now they come through all of the progression, whether it, like you say, whether it be on the Dev Tour, Challenge Tour, German Super League, qualifying for Euro Tours, getting that experience of huge crowds and TV cameras and big stages and big players. It's just a completely different route nowadays.
Just getting to European Tour events these days is hard. Just ask Sebastian. He's been going through Eastern European qualifiers for years, and he's only 20. And it's difficult. That's what makes tournaments like this so valuable when you're here.
97.
Well, look how long it's taken some of the established pros to win one Euro Tour.
I wouldn't know.
38. Sebastian, you require 147.
Treble 17. Would have left double 18. He'll be seeing that Robinson is not 100% tonight.
126.
I know it's horrible, but when that is the case, you've got to come out and punish.
There's very little rhythm about Reese. And Białecki's got to smell an opportunity here, because if you think about who he's got in his last two matches, my word, it's hard.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant run-in. Although there's no easy games in this group.
26.
They definitely aren't.
Reese, you require 80.
I just get the feeling that there's going to be something on that 10th game of the night between Białecki and Lishman.
I agree.
66.
Such fine margins on that 80 checkout.
You require 40.
He edges into the tops, and then he's a wire away from 10s. And he finds himself behind.
First leg, Sebastian Białecki.
And has his throw broken.
Second leg, it's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
You think about the amount of titles that have been won on this stage by tonight's combatants. Weekly title winner, Białecki. Two-time weekly winner, Reese Robinson. Neil Duff, 4 weekly titles
61.
and a specials week. Lishman's got a 9-darter on this stage, and yet the best player on show is the debutant.
Yeah, who played his first match here yesterday.
I did say this group was descending into chaos. It's like trying to predict the weather from inside a hurricane.
Well, Białecki, who started the night dead last, if he can find a way to win this game, he goes P2.
95.
We should have learned something from Romeo Gerbovats last week. Is that...
And David Davis today.
This is a complete change.
Oh, yes.
44.
I just wonder, just looking at some of the reactions from Reese, whether he's having some elbow issues and he's trying to take the pressure away from the throat by getting them to hover and land flat.
100.
Could well be.
That works. And if this turns into that kind of night where he changes to this equipment and he does qualify, this will be a touch of genius.
Yeah, that'd be like one of the F1's teams choosing a tyre that no one else has got. And it's for the rain, but the sun's out, and then 10 minutes later, there's a downpour.
140. Sebastian, you require 145.
A lot of people really like the
Reach
bull
require
on dart 2
117.
because if you get the 25, then the 60, you leave 100 from dart 2, which can
Game shot on the
take it to
second
tops,
leg. Reece
but
Robinson.
it doesn't matter anymore, does it? What Robinson's done there at the end of that leg
Third leg, it's Reece to throw
is
first.
barely comprehensible.
Game
He's
on.
changed darts, and he's had scores of 140, and 117 out.
397 in 9, including a double.
60.
Yeah, just on that 145. If you get a 20 with your first dart, you leave 125. If you've got a 125 checkout, you start 25 because you want to go 25, 60 tops.
140.
So why wouldn't you go dart 2 on 25?
Yeah, makes perfect sense, because if you do it the 60, you're then in a bit of a quandary because you want to go for the ball, but you're frightened of hitting it.
100.
And you get single 20s just like Sebastian does. You leave yourself on 105 with one dart. It means that you can't have 3 darts at double when you come back.
134.
In that case, if you come back. Yeah, I wouldn't change these darts anytime soon.
This is remarkable.
I'm not even sure whose darts they are.
Don't even recall ever seeing them before.
57. Reach you require 161. $65. Sebastian, you require 170.
Something's obviously happened in the practice room where he's brought them to the stage for a reason. But watch out. It's the bull for number 4.
127.
That would have been the 4th
Reach you require 96.
170 finish of the week. 2 double 19s.
20.
Oh, I don't agree with that at
Sebastian,
all.
you require 43.
He's going to go back to double 16. Things are getting edgy. For a second, he thought that hit the 7.
35.
Now Reece
You require
regrets
76.
throwing that dart away.
And you should learn from that situation.
No
Oh,
score.
no. And he's still on 76.
Sebastian, you require 8.
What's going to happen next? This is for a break of throw.
Game shot on the
And that's
third
what he
leg.
gets.
Sebastian Białecki.
In the first game of the night, he saw Neil Duff barely turn up.
Fourth leg. It's
He took
Sebastian
advantage
to
of
throw
it.
First. Game
And in
on.
this game, he's taking advantage of mistakes from his opponent.
Yeah, and he dodged a few bullets in that one with Neil Duff, and he's, well, shame his name's not Boris instead of Seb.
96.
Could call him the bullet dodger in this one.
Can't even quote that one, can we?
No. If you know, you know.
Why is he called Boris?
140.
Because he dodges bullets heavy. Good old Vinnie Jones. He was saying in the media this week that he had the idea for Clarkson's farm before Jeremy Clarkson did. Interesting, that.
Yeah, well,
58.
he does live in the countryside. He's likes his hunting and stuff, which I'm not particularly a fan of, but there you go.
108.
Each to their own. And the second max in this match for Reece. Are we getting another?
140. $96.
I have no idea where this game is going after this. We could get any result here. And I know it's easy to say that when we've only had 3.5 legs. But watching this game over the last 10 minutes has got me in
97.
knots.
Reach require 85.
16 on ball.
Six.
Wowzers, that was close.
Sebastian, you require 110.
It really was. Sebastian, to consolidate, needs a big single and a double 16.
94.
He's had some
Reach
chances.
require 25.
He's had 8 darts at a double. With the second set of darts he has used in this match, he could now be level.
17.
But isn't. But when you change
Sebastian, you
darts,
require 16.
scoring is one thing, doubling is another. Sebastian has got to make hay while the sun shines. It is very much shining on him right now. Tonight is a full moon. And at the minute,
Fifth leg.
the person who is howling
first.
is from Poland. Yeah, apparently it's the last supermoon of the year tonight.
100.
So if I start getting hair on my palms, Mace, you might want to lock me in the studio.
Oh, you've got another 48 minutes.
60.
Thank goodness we don't have any teenagers playing tonight, because we could have Teen Wolf in here. Good job Wolfie's not here.
134.
That calm nature of
140.
Sebastian, it really is being tested in this group. He's been through 7 different campaigns over the last couple of years in this building.
100.
He's almost seen it all. But I think even he would have to admit that this is the most difficult group he's ever been in. And he's been in some toughies.
Yeah.
95. Reach
He's
require
been put through the ringer before,
167.
and he's going through it again tonight.
This is the only one we don't have.
142.
And we still don't. It's like opening the biscuit tin and hoping there's some bourbons left. Somebody's taken them all.
Yeah, it's just full of rich tea.
100. Reach require 25.
The misses
Gage on
have
the
to
fifth
stop.
leg, Reese Robinson.
And he stops Sebastian from getting a shot for the match.
Oh, this is the
Sixth
big one
leg,
for
it's
Seb.
Sebastian to throw first.
Has the darts.
Game up.
Has to utilise that advantage.
If he wants to jump Robinson in that table, when they've both played twice tonight, he must win this leg.
140.
Well, I was just about to say, the key to victory, he's got to make a good start and try and put Reese on the back foot.
60.
Something has changed with Robinson as well. Ever since he's gone to these darts, he looks like he's more comfortable.
It doesn't seem to be reaching at the end of the throw.
100.
It's a nice thing to have in your locker that there's another game in there if you need it.
100.
He's not having to play his natural game. He's playing a somewhat makeshift game that is still very competitive in this company.
85.
And it just goes to show what a natural dart player he is.
Yeah, I think he's special.
He's like a big lump of clay.
100.
Just
He
needs
can-
moulding.
He really does just need a little bit of tweaking. He's got all the attributes.
60.
No treble. Makes the next shot just a little bit more difficult. Here comes the pressure. Is there enough?
50, sir.
No, there isn't.
Sebastian, you require
Białecki's got the luxury of just
116.
hitting a ton here.
Yeah, all he's got to do is keep it simple.
He hasn't got that bypass start this time,
100.
but he has got the ton.
Exactly what you called for, NIKO.
All the chatter overnight was about Robinson, Duff,
105.
and Springer.
Sebastian, you require 16.
Białecki, by hitting this double, goes to second. It's not his
Rishi requires
just yet.
79.
The reprieve for Robinson.
Game
And
shot
the
on
hit as
stick
well.
leg, Reece Robinson.
Oh, how things can change.
Crazy, isn't it?
7th and final leg. It's Reece
From
to throw
absolute
first.
control to
Game
now
on.
hoping your opponent doesn't go off like a train.
97.
We saw some games this afternoon where people were out of the blocks, and you're thinking this is going to be 4-0. And then it turns into 4-3.
Yeah, we had a fair few of them, didn't we, this afternoon?
We didn't get any 4-0s at all in Group C
59.
today. In fact, there was only one in 30 games. In fact, just to embellish on that a little bit more, over the last 2 days, we've had one 4-0 in both groups.
That just shows you how seriously
95.
competitive these groups are.
If
84.
Białecki does not qualify tonight, it may boil down to the fact that he didn't finish Robinson off in 6 legs.
$41.
That's costly. This game is genuinely in Robinson's hands now.
140.
Even more so, Białecki needs a perfect visit here, using the north and southern parts of the board. Needs the 60.
96.
It's not enough.
Rishi require 119.
The only way Białecki wins now is if Robinson capitulates. Double 16.
87.
They've both now had a shot to win this tight contest. The closest match of the night.
And this could well be the difference for Reece facing match starts and maybe not
140.
qualifying
Rishi require 32.
to actually getting one of the 3 spots.
Game
He
shot
wins the
and
match.
Reece
He
Robinson.
may not believe that he has, but Białecki has let that one slip. He'll have to take that on the chin. He was within 1 dart, in fact 1 visit of getting second spot, but Reece retains it, and he is now on 8 points with NIKO Springer. And that is now a 4-point gap between the top 2 and the next 3. Very competitive game between the two. Barely half a point between them. And those 3 misses in leg 6 for Białecki, they could be so costly for him. When we come back, Lishman now is trying to get his teeth and his claws into the best player in the group, NIKO Springer.
unbeaten. Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's 100 quid down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Get match starts to put his team into the final.
Game
And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Game shot out the match. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out, that's what he is, Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
We're about to have game 5 of the night in Group B, and the complexion of this group is getting very clear for some, because what we can tell you now, after Robinson beating Białecki by 4-3 in match 4, if he wins his next match against Neil Duff, he will be into Saturday. He simply has to win that game to get there. But he's not the only one.
First leg, it's NIKO to throw first. Game on.
If Springer wins this match, he will be the first person to qualify through this group. And we'll have a wonderful chance of winning the group as well. And considering how he played in game 3, if he does anything like that, Lishman and his
42.
ambitions of making Saturday for a second time, he's going to need to go up more than one level.
Well, he can take
140.
10% off his level of performance and still average over 100.
140. $125.
Starting as he means to go on, but it's not as good a start as last time. He got a 12 darter with his first leg in his previous game.
85.
His averages last night on debut, first game, 94.97. Then a 97.8. Then 110.59. And the only blot, I think it was an 89.92?
Yeah, that was the last game he played last night.
NIKO, you require 79.
Tonight, opened his account with a 112.05.
39. Tommy, you require
But he could
100.
be behind to a break of throw here. This is a difficult single.
60.
That is a brilliant
NIKO,
single.
you require
Did well.
40.
Does it do him any favours? It does
Game
not.
shot on the first leg, NIKO Springer.
And the Mainz boy closes the door.
Second leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
If NIKO does win this game and he keeps Leishman at 4 points, that means that everybody has played
100.
6 games in this group. Springer will be through. Reese Robinson could join him
140.
in the next match. But if Duff was to lose that game, he'd only have 1 game left. And Białecki and Leishman would have 2.
Yeah, quite simply, Neil Duff has to win both of his remaining
100.
games. Unfortunately for him, it's against an inspired Reese Robinson, who will be buzzing after that comeback win. And he'll be playing this man, Tommy Leishman.
Before Reese plays again, what we can say is that changing
91.
his throw and his darts mid-match against Białecki was the darting equivalent of taking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer off the bench, and he scored
56.
a hat-trick.
NIKO, you require 107.
In the last 10 minutes.
60.
And if you're new to the Modus Super Series or new to NIKO Springer,
65. NIKO,
he
you
was
require
involved in
110.
the most incredible 9-dart leg,
Game shot on the
where
second leg. NIKO
neither
Springer.
player in said leg missed a target they were
Third
aiming
leg,
for.
it's NIKO to throw first. Game on.
The thing about that leg with Manfred Bildel is that that may never happen again. You talk about that World Final 9-darter from Michael
92.
Smith. It was a great leg.
Yeah.
But somebody missed in that leg. Van Gerwen missed the double.
97.
In NIKO's leg with Manny, nobody missed anything.
123.
And there were 2 things that were weird in that leg as well. Springer actually let go of his 9th dart, and he was able to retrieve it from the floor, and then he hit the double 12. And if you think that's strange, Manny left 156 for his 9-darter, and who does that?
NIKO, you require 164. 98. Tommy, you require 146.
Tommy's got to get into this game quickly. He
43.
cannot afford to do what he did last
NIKO,
night.
you require 66.
Win his first game and lose the next 3. But he may just lose this one.
That was pretty.
Springer.
That was 3 well-thrown darts, not 2.
Fourth flag, it's Tommy to throw first.
Having that ability to almost throw a replica dart, but on the inside of it, that takes
100.
oodles of talent and belief in your throw.
140.
I'm trying to come up with the right phrasing here. But if NIKO goes to the Worlds in this kind of form, and he's on the tour with the same sort of
85.
confidence and ability to prepare the way he wants,
94.
he will cause trouble for anyone. But there is something as well that comes with having a tour card. He's got to keep his reps up. He's not going to play as many darts matches potentially as he scores the 180th 180 of the week.
Yeah, and by the sounds of it, his game is all about reps. That's where his discipline is going to be tested away from competition darts.
Absolutely. Okay. That is double 5. And that's the first 4-0 of the group. And that means that NIKO Springer on debut is into Saturday night. Not that it was really in any doubt. That is a bulldozing 100.2 average with 50% on the doubles. And it looked normal. Leishman is going to have to rely on his second half of play on Friday night. NIKO Springer is there with 2 games to spare in this company. You're going to see more of him, plenty of him, but at the Super Series, you're going to see him on Saturday night.
Welcome back to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
And he was right.
Van Velzen's had opportunity, but it's Steve West that takes his opportunity.
Does he get one this time? The jury's out. Is the double in? Listen to that! And Jimmy Van Ski is still alive! He's made it! And Marvin Van Velzen!
Jimmy Van Ski probably felt he's already been out already tonight. Surely not again. Oh, Jimmy! It's a wry smile. What a finish! What a man! What a response!
Of the 5-time weekly champion. It's Jimmy Van Ski who makes the final! Are we, Jimmy? You bet we are! One leg to see who the champ is. Yes, he can! Marvin is the man!
Marvin Van Velzen!
Welcome back, and this is what we've seen so far. The man from last night, the man from Germany, is stealing the headlines again because for the night he's 8-1 up, beating former world champion Neil Duff, and he's the only person who's won against the throw as well. But that game against Tommy Leishman, that took 6 minutes and 41 seconds for his 3rd ton plus average of this group. He really is that good. And he's at the top of the table. He's safe for Saturday night, and Rhys Robinson will be safe as well if he wins his next match against the Duff man, who currently still sits in a promotional position to make another Saturday night. It's not just about the Modus Super Series this week, because we do have some ADC darts a little bit later on in the weekend, a little bit past the midnight hour. We will be in about 30 minutes, but when it comes to 12:30 on Saturday, the ADC is back in town.
Ball 1, Joe Taylor, Garrett Tilly. And ball 2, Craig Nixon, Robin Young.
The footprint of the ADC over the last 18 months has been very much felt here in Portsmouth. And this is what we've got on offer on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel from 12:30 on Saturday, because the grand final of the ADC Winmore Championship Tour Finals, it will be decided from the quarterfinals. As you can see, it's Bolton versus Duff. He's going to have a very busy Saturday potentially. Gary Stone against Pilgrim. Banks, Brooks, Croft and Martin in the bottom half. That is the order of play when it comes to Saturday afternoon. And then we'll have the semi-finals and the final after that. So don't miss that. Hit that notification bell on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel and you will not miss a trick. But for now, it's all about whether Rhys Robinson can get his way to Saturday night. Possibly at the expense of Duff. Because, as you saw on the table about a minute ago, Duff, Białecki and Lishman all have 4 points with 2 matches to go, and they are separated in leg difference by 1 leg.
Well, this tie last night was one that got away from Neil. He was defeated 4-3, and the disparity in the averages are incredible. 87.94 for Rhys. 99.93 for Neil Duff. I'd like to say he missed lots of doubles, but he was 3 from 5 on those. Rhys, however, was even better. 4 from 5.
60.
Nothing is going to shock me about this group. Nothing.
Are you with me thinking this is a must-win for Neil Duff?
Let me put it to you this way, miss. If you offered Neil a draw right now, we should take it.
Yeah, I like that. No draws here at the Super Series.
Yeah, this is like Wardrobes Are Us. No draws here.
100.
But how inspired was that change from Robinson? Because obviously something isn't clicking with his normal throw, with his normal darts. He's actually got a plan B, and it worked against Białecki.
Yeah, and he was in a world of trouble in that particular game, and then reeled off 140, 140, and took out 117. And then relied on a bit of fortune
60.
with Seb missing multiple match darts before winning a last leg shootout.
97.
The difference in output from Duff from last night to tonight, there's a fair difference.
131.
But it's in there somewhere. It needs to be found, and it needs to be found very soon.
Yeah, and he's going to have to play well enough here to try and force some mistakes out of his opponent, who looks
140.
a different player right
Rhys
now.
require 110.
He went for the bullseye.
6.
Well, that could have worked out worse.
Neil, you require 104.
Worse off if Duff hits tops.
84. Rhys, you
I'm sure
require
if you could
50.
hear him wherever you're watching, but he said, get up. Double 16 to break through. A disastrous start for Neil Duff. If he finds the double 16, which he does.
It's on the first leg, Rhys Robinson.
I was saying earlier tonight that Robinson always knows
Second
what he's going to
leg,
wear
it's
when he
Rhys
plays
to throw
darts.
first.
He's like Simon
Game
Cowell
on.
waking up and saying, well, what's in the wardrobe? I think it's going to be a black V-neck T-shirt today. But he's gone all black in the darts as well.
100.
Almost reminds me of one of the greatest names in sport.
100.
But said in the right accent. Former New Zealand rugby captain, Sean Fitzpatrick. But when the Kiwis say it, they say it so
100.
amazingly. Because they do their vowels differently, don't they?
Ah,
so it's
yes.
Sean Fitzpatrick. Genuinely one of the best accents on the planet.
100.
And one of the most beautiful parts of the world.
You and I should do a road
22.
trip there. Go and see some of our friends down there, like Hopes and Big Rig.
Yeah.
Go and see the Warrens.
I told you we should do a similar thing to what
45.
Gino did with Fred and our mate.
Big Gordon.
Big G. He is the Big G as well.
85.
Because we both love to cook and enjoy the odd glass of wine. I think it would be brilliant.
Yeah, terrible country for wine, New Zealand.
Oh, I know. Especially when we get near that Marlborough region, it's all over.
It's probably a good idea you don't go to New Zealand, Mace, because
I won't come back.
You wouldn't come back. Once you've had a hungy, you will never come back. That's when food is cooked in volcanic soil.
95.
It is different level. Well, Reese is going to be cooking here if he takes out 99.
97. Reach you require 99.
Double 18.
81.
So close to 2-0.
Neil, you
Clip the
require
wire.
76.
Needs this.
Game
And
shot
gets
the
his
second
throwback
leg, Neil
immediately.
Duff.
Never doubt Neil Duff.
Yeah, that was classic.
Third leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
If you were going to have a Ryder Cup of darts at this level of play, you'd want Neil as your captain.
100.
He would fire you up.
What'd you do? It the England versus the rest of the world? Or England v
85.
Europe?
Based on what we have seen in this series, I think UK and Ireland
140.
versus the rest of the world would be great fun.
Yeah, it would.
140.
I mean, you'd have to have Wolfie as the England or the UK captain, surely. Or Duff.
Who would you have as the rest of the world captain?
140.
John Park?
$60. Neil, you require
Genuinely,
120.
someone like Stowe Bunce.
Yeah.
I think he would inspire.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Double 16, I'm feeling this.
89.
There's something rather flamboyant about that 1-2-1 effort, isn't it? When you get the bull first.
134. Neil, you require 32.
He just could not wait to grace the oche there.
Game shot on the third
And he takes the
leg, Neil
lead.
Duff.
Things could have been so different had Robinson hit that double 18.
Fourth leg, it's Reese to throw first. Game on.
Duff winning this game is a terrible result for Białowski and Lishman.
Yeah.
48.
Worst possible scenario.
And then Białowski's got Springer next, who's averaging, for the night,
106.
100.
say no
And
more.
a little bit of change.
It's probably a big chunk of change as well. And now we've got another set of darts off the bench.
140.
Snakebite 2.0.
3 sets of darts in one night.
140.
Well, which substitute can we say this is? How about that guy that went to Atletico Madrid from Man City recently, Alvarez? He was a good substitute
96.
when Haaland was taken off the pitch. He was so good a substitute, he was sold for about £75 million.
That's a super sub. And that's a super shot.
180.
Neil Duff just hitting him with the kitchen sink.
89. Neil, you require
I've
81.
never seen anybody hit with a kitchen sink, literally. I would imagine it would hurt. This would hurt.
56. Reach require 128.
Hit this. This would be like picking the sink up and throwing it back.
47.
One of them old
Neil, you
cast
require
ones.
25.
Oh, the big porcelain butcher sinks. Double 8.
Game shot
Now
on the
he
full flag.
really is
Neil
starting
Tuck.
to put something together.
Yep, hit it in the last leg.
Fifth flag. It's Neil to throw first. Game on.
Followed it to go 3-1 up, and he's back in business.
108.
Even Jack Garwood giving it the full beans, but look at this for a reply.
140.
Yeah, and there's definitely a reaction. Holding the elbow on dart 3. Not sure if he's got a bit of tennis elbow.
That's what it looks like.
45.
Yeah. It's just the instant hold on at the end of release.
The twinge when you put that arm through its full capacity. It just sends an impulse to the brain,
99.
and all you can think is, oh no. And you get tentative on your throat.
Yeah. From first-hand experience, it is horrific.
121.
What a leg to produce to win a really important match for Neil Duff in terms of qualification.
56.
And at the start of this
Neil,
match,
you
we were
require
talking about Robinson
155.
winning it to go through. He's not through yet. Although it's still
59.
very likely. If Robinson does indeed lose this match, he's going to need
60.
somebody
Neil,
from
you
the bottom
require
of the table
96.
to win twice, and he's going to have to lose his last match against Springer. He sets
56.
it up, and
Reach require
Robinson needs to start
146.
the comeback right now. And you do fear the worst.
58. Neil, you require
Everybody in this
40.
group has got a negative leg difference apart from NIKO Springer. But Neil
shot
Duff has
on
now
the
got to
match.
win.
Neil Duff.
And 6 points in the table. 2 ahead of Białecki and Lishman. That might just give him the confidence to take Lishman out in game 8. And if he wins that match, he's going to be safe. That is a great performance from Neil. 44% on the doubles and much better on the output overall compared to the other 2 games he's had tonight as well. Worrying signs for Robinson. So when we come back, NIKO Springer, he's going to turn up, probably average 100 again. But what can Białecki do about it?
Please welcome to the stage, Angry Ginge and John Henderson.
And this is where... Hang on, wow. Hang on. He's on the bounce out there for Nyland, but you do not expect him to get another visit in this match. John Henderson, double 10. And he pins it to take the opening. Devon coming up first for double 10. He's the one that left it, and he's the one that hits it for the opening leg.
They talked a good game, didn't they, beforehand? They've not quite delivered it as of yet. He's still with Devon Peterson. This is a big favourite from this moment. Oh, hello! It's the big favourites.
Goes 2-0. But it doesn't.
The most successful player at the Super Series is the man who turns it around.
He's got it 1-0. Away days and Bradley Brooks. May see a double-double. Does go double 19. What's another double 19? Great shot. Wow, very, very good.
The Bradley Brooks show.
No one
go for this one.
But this could go. This is a match opportunity.
And both their darts stand up, so will they block it? They will not. John Henderson to take himself. I think he was going for a 7 there, but it doesn't matter because he's going to hit it anyway. 47 kills.
Still an opportunity to showcase what he can do. And that's what Steve West can do. A double-double to get the job done. When you get those nerves, you just hang on to the dart a bit too long.
Steve West finds tops for a break of throw. Steve West at triple 20. Tops the match. Darts for fun and Steve West.
Steve West and Darts for Fun!
Welcome back. And after having a little bit of a snippet there at one of our influencer events, there will be another one before the end of the year. This is all about Sebastian Białecki, this game, because NIKO Springer, who has 2 games left, is already in Saturday night. So tomorrow night, he will make his debut in front of the fans in Portsmouth. And this place is going to be rammed.
Yeah, he's
First
wearing
leg,
red
it's
and
NIKO to throw first.
he has been on fire.
Game on.
I wonder if he's got an away shirt. If he's got a blue one, he might get some of the Jimmy Van Ski Massive to come and support
55.
him.
Yeah, I think that influencer event, the next one is the Sunday before Champions Week.
Indeed it is.
December the 1st.
137.
Like we said, this game is all about Białecki. This is a nightmare opponent to have right now.
For anybody.
When you need 2 points. He currently sits in 4th. Duffer's got 1 game left.
100.
Well, the caveat, of course, is the only person
57.
to defeat NIKO is Seb.
And he really switched it on in that game.
Well, he averaged 99, and the way NIKO is playing, you'd think he'd have to be somewhere around that kind of number.
100.
A 99 average might get it done. But in order for it to be effective enough, he's going to have to be visit perfect on doubles.
60.
Yeah, and there
Sebastian,
could be a case with, we don't know
164.
his character that well, but he may be of the thinking, oh, right, someone's told me I'm through, and he may just switch off slightly.
43.
I'm only speculating, of course.
92.
I think if he
Sebastian,
relaxes, he might play even better.
Yeah, I was literally, you took the words right out of my mouth. That kind of throw doesn't rely on intensity.
42. NIKO, you require 102.
We have seen a 79 checkout tonight
Sebastian, you
from
require
Reece Robinson.
69.
Sebastian could do with this. Double top. He's not moving.
59.
Maybe he should have.
NIKO, you require 75.
Treble 17, single 18, and tops.
35. Sebastian, you
Human
require
after all.
20. Game shot on the first
That is a
leg.
bit of a
Sebastian
freebie there
Białecki.
for Sebastian. You got to give him credit when NIKO has taken his foot off the gas a little bit by the
Second
looks of
leg,
it.
Sebastian to throw first.
Sebastian was there to
Game
take full
on.
advantage.
Yeah, and it was he averaged 97.8 and hit 4 180s against Seb. I was trying to find some kind of
99.
angle that he may be his bogey player, but
He played 3 times before
96.
yesterday, And NIKO Springer had won 2 of them.
Could have got NIKO at 4-7 before the action got underway in this tie.
96.
Well, before the action got underway tonight. Seb was 5-4.
I know I said that this game is all about Sebastian, but if NIKO was to win it, he would win the group. And that ensures that he would be in the same group on Saturday night as the person who finishes 3rd in this group.
No thanks.
96.
From this position, you've got to get to a finish. Got to go 19s.
42.
And that's not good enough.
NIKO, you require 129.
Doesn't need to go double-double. And that, for me, was a very speculative
89.
shot at 2 double 18s, but being half an inch low, it's almost as if he wanted to go 18 and single 14 there. And if he did, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, it's like it's a safe
85. NIKO, you require 40.
Throwing down at tops because he's so
On
tall.
the second leg, NIKO
And there you can see it right there.
Bounces back with a 13 dart break of
Third
throw.
leg, it's NIKO to throw first. Game on.
Who was the tallest dart player when you were in
91.
your heyday? Was it Roland Shelton?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Do you think he got the plaudits that he deserved for how good a player he was?
No, and again, it's that mid-era, isn't it? What did he win? The
84.
UK Open.
Yeah. Premier League finalist. He got to the final when Wazza won the Grand Prix, didn't he?
Yes.
$118.
It's a curious case of what's happening in world darts at the minute.
108.
There are so many players at this level who are going to threaten next year. These two are going to the tour. But if you didn't know already, the highest ranked player left in the Grand Slam of darts was playing here last year.
45.
A
NIKO,
year
you
ago,
require
it was
145.
Sebastian taking Luke Littler out, and a year later, he's the prospective world number 13 or
93.
higher. And he's the highest ranked player left in the Grand Slam of darts.
The fact that he's already up to 13 in the world is remarkable when you think of
58. NIKO, you require
the match play, the
52.
Grand Prix, and the Europeans.
That is a
On the
2-1
third
lead.
leg, NIKO Springer.
First leg, it's almost as if he said, it happened, I got rid of it, back
Fourth
to
leg,
normal in
it's
legs
Sebastian
2 and
to throw
3.
First. Game on.
Yeah, there's no hangover, is there?
$54. $108.
If he ends up with another ton plus average here after that first leg, there may be nothing he can't do. We've had 1-9 darter this week. That came from Adam Mould, who has now been
140.
eliminated in 3rd position in Group C. We're not going to get another just yet. But you just never know.
100.
Now that NIKO is in Saturday night, he might just be the right person to get the first one on a Saturday.
Yeah. That, by the way, was his 15th 180 in this Group B campaign.
140.
So with a game to spare and half a game to play... Oh, come on.
108.
Made that 16.
That is at
So you require
least 2 per
167.
game as an average.
Yeah.
And he's still got a game and a half to go.
59. NIKO, you require 41.
If he turned up in leg 1, this would be frightening. It really is
On the
frightening
fourth
what he
leg,
can do.
NIKO Springer.
And Sebastian is not feeling very well
Fifth
at the
leg,
minute.
it's NIKO to throw first.
Yeah,
Game on.
little nauseous.
I think anybody would after this. Look at that. 38 darts for a
91.
blitz. He might even complete 4 straight legs in 50 darts. If you do 3 in 50, that's good.
100.
Sebastian's last game is the last game of the group against Lishman.
100.
They might both be out by the time that happens. And that could be Sebastian's swan song here at the Modus Super Series after a glittering time of it
100.
over the last 2 years. He does not want to go out like that. But Springer does not care one jot.
100.
That little spell, Nico, from
85.
a ropey opening leg. He's averaged 118.65 in that 3-leg blitz.
138.
Well, doesn't that put Darryl Pilgrim's record into perspective?
Exactly.
4 points better than that.
49.
He's missed 1 dart at a
NIKO
double
requires
in this match,
72.
NIKO. He might not miss any more. And we know what happens when he misses. Well, he drops a dart. He hits what's next.
32. Sebastian, you require
The only finish
167.
we've not seen so far this week of the big numbers. I've seen 160, 161, 164.
131.
And multiple
NIKO, you
170s.
require 40.
He wins again.
Game shot and the match.
And
NIKO Springer.
he wins the group. It was never really in doubt for the German, who has been the most consistent and most explosive player of this entire campaign over the last couple of nights. Sensational work. And his work is almost done because he's still got a game against Robinson to go. 96, and that's his worst performance of the night by 4 points. Białecki is in so much trouble, and he may even now be out because in the next game, Duff against Lishman, Duff could be through if he wins.
Fabulous start from the young man. World Youth Champion. What a response that is from his father. Back-to-back 140s. Deciding leg of 7. My goodness, back-to-back 180s. Well, we've seen 2 9s in last year's Modus League. We've seen a couple of 10s. Not seen a 9 yet in the Online Darts Live League. Double 19. Double 12 for the 9. And he gets the 9. What a way to win. B. BO contains the 5 players. 3 progress to Saturday's final.
60.
Of course, that emphasis is on qualifying for Saturday night's final because the the runner-up, and the winner of the 3rd and 4th place playoff will get their crack at Champions League.
180.
Trying to get their hands at £7,000 first prize.
45. 180.
Oh, welcome back, Martin. Where have you been? Where did you go?
100. Martin, you require 141.
Double 12.
Gage
Absolutely outstanding
Martin
from
Adams.
Martin Adams as he hits a 9-darter.
Welcome back, and it's now or never for Tommy Lishman. He knew when this group was drawn up that he had 2 of the last 3 games of the group. But in this penultimate match for him, if he does not win and the Duffman does, it's all said and done. Duffman can go through by winning his last game of the group, and he will take Rhys Robinson with him, because that will create a gap that Lishman and Białecki cannot bridge.
First leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And if that happens, Rhys Robinson will be let off the leash in Game 9 against Springer. Can Tommy
81.
dig his way out of this and still keep Sebastian Białecki alive as well?
$140.
Well, whatever was going on in match 1 for Neil Duffy seems to have sorted that out.
140.
Did lose his second match, of course, but it was such a massive improvement in terms of performance, and he backed that up in game number 3 against Rhys.
78.
It's a strange dynamic here for Sebastian, because in every likelihood he's not going to make Saturday night this time, and the next game he plays will be the last one he has in the Modus Super Series.
91.
Somewhat poignant, really. I'm sure he wanted to have his last match in this tournament
162.
on a Saturday in front of fans.
You require 170.
Could still be the case, but he needs Lishman to win. And then Sebastian would have to beat Lishman. But it very much depends on the margin
40.
of the victory as well. We'll get to that in due course. Double 10 for Tommy.
Game shot on the first
gets the
leg.
reward
Tommy
for a beautiful setup after it in 162 to leave 40. But there was
Second leg,
pressure
it's Neil
with
to
the
throw
1-3-4
first.
from Duff.
Game on.
Worst case scenario for Neil is that he loses to Tommy and then Tommy beats Sebastian.
60.
After this one, Rhys will be playing NIKO. And then it is Seb versus Tommy. Will there
85.
be anything on it?
Not everybody gets their fanfare farewell, do they? Taylor didn't get it in 2018 when Cross demolished him in the World Final.
It wasn't a bad way to go out, in fairness.
It wasn't. I think Rob was very respectful when he won that final by 7 sets to 1.
140.
There's not too many nicer guys in darts, that's for sure, than Rob Cross.
I think everybody on Planet Darts is hoping that
83.
Steve Beaton qualifies for the World so he can have his fanfare
136.
farewell. To the PDC, at least. PDC's loss will be somebody else's gain.
Ours.
96.
I wonder if they've got anything planned for Steve. I certainly hope so, because he's been such a fabulous servant to our
6.
sport.
I would be shocked if there wasn't.
Game shot on
That
the second
13
leg.
darter gets
Neil
stuffed
Duff.
back into this match pronto.
Yeah, the word legend gets used.
Third leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game
Sometimes
on.
not legitimately, but certainly in Mr. Beaten's case, he is a legend, and he's going to light up that seniors tour.
137.
I'll tell you what would trump what they did for Steve in Leicester recently, where they lined up and dressed like him. If all 3,500 people the night he plays at Ali Pali all dress up like him.
Yeah, that would be. If you've not seen it, this done the circuits online. A lot of the players went out and got Steve Beaten shirts and the Steve Beaten wig and moustache, and gave him a real fanfare.
97.
When we spoke to Tommy on Thursday night,
60.
he immediately said, "This is the most difficult group I've ever been in." And it has proven to be the case. Ridiculous at times,
140.
but you cannot take your eyes off it.
$100. Now you require
To
84.
take the lead after the 13 darter. It could be a 12. And decided to roll the dice.
52. Tommy, you require 144.
Interesting to do that on a finish that we've seen to hit a 9 this week.
Shot's not on. So Neil Duff, 32
92.
after 12,
Neil, you require
looking
32.
to break through. It's very similar to his previous game against Reece Robinson, where there was
Yes, on
some
the third leg,
exchanges
Neil
early on before Neil just went through the gears.
He's definitely
Fourth
stepping
leg,
it up.
it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
27 darts for the last couple of legs. This is what world champions do.
100.
I wonder if there's anywhere in the world that Neil really wants to play darts that he hasn't yet.
140.
He's been to a lot of places.
$60.
You ever played darts in Japan, Mace?
No, I've never been to that part of the world, but it's on the bucket list.
You have to go. You'd love Osaka.
140.
That's Seigo Asada's town. It's like playing a completely different sport.
100.
I don't even know if I'd take my darts, though.
You should.
Yeah, I suppose. Although they'd be no good out there.
They have dart shops in Japan that have a multitude of different boards in there, but in Tokyo they have darts stadiums.
100.
It's beyond belief. It's like a different planet.
$121.
Oh, this has been
Tommy,
good.
you require 121.
They're both going to get a chance to add to the growing list of ton plus checkouts for the week. But this group has added the least amount of any group this week. I know they're
97. Now you require 120.
fewer games in Group B. Gets a shot at tops for 3-1. This is rather large.
80. Tommy, you require 24.
What could have been 3-1 could now be a level match. These turning points, something that Neil sees a lot when he walks through the door.
Game shot on the fourth leg, Tommy Lishman.
Credit to Tommy. Strong leg, but had to dodge a bullet
Fifth
from Duff.
leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Wowzers. I thought it was good, and it is.
Might even get better.
123.
If you were seeing that at a PDC Major or a Euro Tour, you'd think, wow. This is supposedly the next level. But the line between this level and the next, it is so thin.
Yeah, we used to be a fairly
60.
thick line, as you say. Now, that gap has been closing, well, with the inception of what was the
100.
Live League that's now evolved into the Super Series.
Does make you wonder, doesn't it? Because when we were sitting in that studio in Southampton, we were thinking this in itself is rather remarkable.
58.
When we first came here, looked around this place and thought, what on earth is this?
Yeah, well, we came to see it before it was built. It was literally a shell with drawings, and then we came up when it was probably 3/4 to do some rehearsing and give our opinion on stage and well, everything else, really.
60.
The thing I'll always remember about moving from Southampton to here, it was seeing the players that were regulars in Southampton seeing this place for the first time.
Yeah, their faces.
100.
And it was the realization that, oh, so we're not going back there anymore. We're going to be playing in this instead.
Yeah, you're not playing in a soundproof box anymore.
Yeah, I think the tagline that we heard quite a lot was, you're not in Southampton anymore.
100.
A bit like Kansas.
Now you require 124.
With no squeaky floor.
We should have taken that floorboard up and framed it. You could have framed
94.
that shot.
Tommy, you require
This is going to be the
100.
worst leg of the match. But it could be crucial for Tommy Lishman. He's already got a check out of 2 double tops. That was yesterday.
60.
But this
Now
is
you
now
require
today
30.
where Duff can take the lead against the darts.
Again.
Game shot on the fifth
And
leg.
he knows he's
Neil
really
Tuck.
close. If he gets one more leg in this contest, he'll have played Thursday
Sixth
night,
leg. It's Neil to throw
Friday
first.
night. He will
Game on.
play Saturday afternoon and Saturday night as well.
95.
That's nothing compared to what he did at the start of this series.
Did he do... Yeah, 3 consecutive weeks, wasn't it?
3 straight weeks. Champions Week. Specials
60.
Week to try and defend his double trouble title. Then he played week 1 of Series 9. By the end of that 3rd week, he was done.
Yeah, he was fried, wasn't he?
41. $136.
So close now. And it would be very apt if Duff can punch his ticket
140.
with this shot.
Now you
He
require
doesn't even need to hit it now.
170.
But he still might. Neil. Oh, well, it just goes to show you should have gone for it.
140.
Indecision.
Now what does he do?
65. Now
Does he
you
win a
require
second
30.
consecutive leg on double 15? He doesn't even try it.
Game shot.
He tries that. And Neil
Duff.
Duff has qualified for Saturday night yet again. An exceptional record that he has in this building. He's now 11 qualifications from 12. And that means that Tommy Lishman cannot qualify via his last match tonight. And it means as well that Sebastian Białowieski's swan song here at the Super Series will be against Lishman in Game 10. Duff with 103.41. More quality from the former world champion. And congratulations to him for making another Saturday. And two other people who are in Saturday will play each other next. It will be Robinson against Springer in match 9.
Matthew Edgar has gone for the bullseye on 92. Please tell me, why have you gone this way?
Bit of safety.
Is that the correct way to go? His next dart would be 17 or treble 17. If he hits the single 17, he's saying he guarantees himself a dart at the ball. It's not quite guaranteed, but the percentage chances of him getting a dart at the ball is quite high. Now, the alternative is going for the treble, so Matt's on 92. Raymond van Barneveld, I believe, was one of the first players to go the treble 20. His basically reasoning was, as a professional dart player, he backs himself with 2 darts being that good to hit a treble. If they don't hit it and they hit a single 20, this is where the next bit of dilemma comes in. Back in the day, they would have probably gone on for the treble again, okay? Nowadays, we don't really see that very often. The next shot with 72 left, 8, maybe 9 times out of 10 is 2 double 18s. I mean, look at the size of the double segment. This is another fact that it's big. The bullseye's tiny. That's the thing, isn't it? I think to myself, I would personally, if you're a good dart player, I think go the single 2 doubles. And then next thing you know, someone's gone the 25 route and I find myself calling game shot. Which route would you do on the 91s, the 92s, the 93s, the 94s? Should you go for it? Or should you lay up? Your opponent's on 212 points. This is a World Championship semi-final. The fans out there, they're all against you. You need something to get them on your side, perhaps. What would you do? Genuinely, what would you do in this situation?
I'd be going for it. Got to go for the bullseye.
And what's your reason behind that? Why would you do that?
Just got to believe in yourself. Give yourself a little bit of a G up. If you hit it, it's going to look incredible. And if you don't, then you've got time to sort it out.
Me, as somebody who likes me mathematics, I would probably say do the sensible thing, lay up. This is a World Championship semi-final. Jared, he wants to get the crowd behind him. So there's 2 options. You might be on 170 thinking about whether to go for it. Your opponent is also on 170 and you're thinking to yourself, he's a great dart player, he's in the World Championship semi-final. Is he really going to take out 170 under this pressure in this occasion? Probably not. So you decide to lay up. Now, we've seen examples of that in the past. I think Mensur Sulovic famously took out 161, I believe it was, against Van Gerwen when he chose to lay up. This happens quite a lot. Most of the time, your opponent's not taking out that 170 when they come back. So laying up probably is the best thing to do, but sometimes it backfires and then, well, fair play. Darts maths!
Two more games to go in the early hours of Saturday morning. And Rhys Robinson has done it. Just like NIKO Springer, Robinson has a record now of qualifying for Saturdays of 6 from 7. Very, very good indeed. But here's what's on the line in this game. No one's going to topple Springer at the top. That's his. He's won the group. But if
First
Robinson
leg,
doesn't
Rhys
want
to
to
throw
go
first.
through NIKO
Game
in the
on.
group on Saturday night, he's going to have to win this game. Because otherwise, Robinson will be 3rd and will be in the same group as NIKO on Saturday night.
108.
And I wonder if he's aware of that, because that was a splendid start.
100.
This could be one of those gloves off kind of darts matches where we see a bit of flamboyance and a ridiculous showing.
58.
Yeah, well, they'll both be ultimately relieved to have got the job done. And like you say, they could open their shoulders a bit here and
93.
just throw with freedom. NIKO did beat Rhys 4-1, match number 2 last night.
92.
This game is not going to take long.
No, even if it goes all the way.
Which it probably will, considering
52.
we've had, over the course of 46 matches potentially
56. Reach require 111.
in 2 days, we could have 2 4-0 scorelines, which is ridiculous when you think about it. That's a great dart.
79.
There's a little bit of that
NIKO, you
creativity
require
that we might see
106.
from Reece in this final group game. I think he was trying to do the Luke Littler there. The old Bull 11 bull trick. We know what Nico's doing. Wow.
Shot on the first leg. NIKO Springer.
Scrub leg 1. Or like they say in the US Navy, splash 1.
Second leg. It's NIKO to throw first. Game on.
All Reece could do was just smile and shake his head. That's all I'm doing sat here, pal.
He's probably
96.
thinking. He probably knew a little bit about NIKO, but he's thinking, who's this? Who invited this lad this week?
What's he doing?
60.
Wow, he's going for the old Richie Burnett dismount there.
Well, we've had the full repertoire from
134.
NIKO Springer in the last couple of nights. Absolute joy to watch.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's off the bench again.
96.
Oh, yeah. The colour-coded darts are back out.
77.
Well, he had a 160. He's thinking, yeah, let me have a crack at the 170, but he's, well, incredibly missed.
81.
I'm not sure that's going to kill the pain.
25, no. Put the pain somewhere else.
Maybe he's hungry.
80.
If he was to eat himself, he'd be Reese's Pieces.
Like it.
100.
It really does
NIKO,
hurt,
you
doesn't
require
it?
114.
And for his sake, I hope there's not any long-term damage in that right arm.
Yeah, so get some, I believe,
58. Reach require
rubbed on that
164.
overnight and all day tomorrow.
91. NIKO, you require.
And it's really
56.
important he doesn't throw another dart after this game is finished until tomorrow night.
16. Reach
Give him a
require
tip,
73.
I believe, and then wrap the elbow in cling film and leave it like that all night.
Just think that you've done yourself a tattoo on your arm.
Yeah.
48. NIKO, you require 40.
2-0 Beckons. Or should we say 2-0.
30.
9.
Reach, you require 25.
Interesting. That's the Scott Williams trick.
19.
Nothing seems
NIKO,
to be
you
working.
require 10.
Right down its throat. Or that one.
Game shot on
And
the
that'll
second
work
leg.
very well.
NIKO Springer. Third leg, it's Reece
As
to
it
throw
stands,
first.
our last
on.
game is going to be Białowieski against Lishman. Whoever wins that match will finish 4th. Whoever loses will finish 5th.
91.
And believe it or not, there could be a 10-point gap between the top and the bottom
140.
in a group like this.
Remarkable.
The odds compilers did have Springer as the favourite at the start of the week. I think they got that right.
100.
Tommy Morris might have something to say about that.
Well,
100.
it will have to be the version of Tommy we've seen through the majority of Group A.
$60.
He's trying to caress those darts through the air.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd if he can play left-handed, I'd be playing
57.
left-handed.
I wouldn't be surprised. He can do everything else.
I wouldn't be putting more stress into that elbow unnecessarily.
140.
He can throw so many different ways.
Yes. Hence he can do the flatty.
57. Rishi require 110.
I'm not even sure where that pierced.
45. NIKO, you require 147.
My spidey senses say it was a single 20. Wrong treble for NIKO. But not for long.
123. Rishi requires
What's Reese got up his
65.
sleeve for this one?
Well, something ordinary.
Probably 2 bull. What do you want to leave? Got plenty of options. That was one of them, but I don't think he's coming back.
24.
Double break incoming.
$18.
Wow.
Rishi required
Both
32.
double surrounded.
Game shot on the third leg. Reese Robinson.
He's not going to be bageled. He could easily have been had he lost that third leg.
Fourth leg. It's NIKO to throw first. Game on. $125.
Sometimes I get amazed by certain things that happen in the sport. Nico Springer's debut in a European Tour event, he made the last 16. Only just lost to Peter Wright. And at that point, we were thinking, who's he? Where's he been?
140.
And then you look at someone like Gabe Clemens. It took him ages to make a Sunday on the European Tour.
58.
And I'm talking years. That in itself, in a nutshell, tells you about the mindset of this young man.
Well, and where
85.
his game is at this stage, we're certainly going to be expecting him to qualify for multiple European tours next year.
That's one of the complexities of having a tour card. He will no longer be able to use the host nation qualifiers. He will have to go through the best players that aren't seeded or
98.
in the order of merit window just to get to those tournaments. But one of the benefits of being German is that if you play in Hildesheim and in Rosmalen next year,
60. NIKO, you
it doesn't
require
take a great deal of
86.
time to get there. You don't have to play everything in England. It is
Game shot
3-1
on the
though,
fourth flag. NIKO
and he
Springer.
makes 14 darters look like child's play.
Fifth flag. It's Reese to throw first. Game on.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing Springer against Littler, by the way. Slightly different statures.
Yeah, that will be fascinating.
It'll be even funnier if Jimmy Van Schie gets a tour
42.
card. He'll be looking down on everyone. But there's a portion of Portsmouth, a very large portion at that,
97.
that is hoping that Jimmy doesn't get a card because they want him to keep coming back here.
Yeah, he's massively popular, isn't he? Come out in their droves to support Jimmy.
41.
If he flies into Southampton Airport, there's usually a fanfare waiting for him. Jimmy's back in town.
140.
I think Reese, if he had a towel,
41.
he would throw it in right now. And overnight, he's going to have to stew on the fact that this guy is going to stand in his
58.
way on Saturday night in the groups.
He's got real discomfort.
Always beware the wounded player.
140.
But that seriously looked uncomfortable. NIKO would actually do Rhys Robinson a favour here by taking this out in 2 visits.
56.
We don't know everything about Springer, but to finish his group, is he tempted?
66.
No.
NIKO, you require 150.
That tells you everything. He's all business.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
109.
Turns out he's not going to get rid of Rhys in 2 visits. It might be 3.
80.
And it turns
NIKO,
out
you require 41.
that Springer can win this group with only 1 loss. And that might just be to the person who finishes bottom.
Game shot and the match.
Brilliant.
NIKO Springer.
What a campaign that is. Statistically, that's his worst performance. But he didn't need to press his foot down. He is so pleased with what he's done over the last couple of nights, and he's got every right to feel that way. He has bossed a brilliant group. That's what you've just seen. Robinson is through, but there are worries ahead of Saturday night for him. We are entirely hopeful that that discomfort in the arm does subside, but we'll address that when we come back on Saturday night. Białecki and Lishman, well, they're about to finish their campaign, and this is about to be the last game of Sebastian Białecki's Modus Super Series career. Thanks for staying with us in the early hours of UK time anyway. And wherever you are on Planet Darts, get in touch on our YouTube chat, because this is the last game for Sebastian Białecki at the Modus Super Series. He's not going to do it on a Saturday night. He's not going to keep up his perfect record of making Saturday nights. But his last match in this tournament, for now, And he will be hoping
First
forever.
leg, it's Sebastian to throw
so will we.
first. Game on.
I think he knows it as well. This place has had a great deal of time for him over the last couple of years, and we've loved having him here. But this is his last contest, and if he wins it, he will finish in 4th position.
140.
Yeah, 1 place away from qualification.
It's almost like Sebastian's last day at college.
7.
And he's been sent out into the real world of sorts after this. I wonder if he's going to stick around and watch
81.
for Saturday night, or whether he will just go back to Poland and say thank you to Portsmouth on his way out.
58.
NIKO Springer has won all 4 games tonight. He's got 14 points in the table. His advantage in leg difference is a little bit
97.
silly. 18 legs over Neil Duff.
Yeah, that's remarkable, isn't it? When we talk about
39.
dominant campaigns, that's right up there.
And at the end of the show, we're going to sit down and cast our eye and our ears over what we've seen and heard. But Neil Duff is going to finish
85.
second in this table. He's going to dodge Rhys Robinson and NIKO Springer. But if you think that's a good thing,
140. Sebastian
just
require
wait.
98. $58.
very tidy. And what you said about Bolt this week, about him being slightly one-paced in that high 80s range, it has come back to bite him.
121.
Yeah.
Sebastian, you require 40.
Yeah, certainly has. Don't get me wrong, the
Game
pace
shot
that
of
he
first
plays
leg,
at
Sebastian Białecki.
isn't a poor one, but it's just on this week because it's been one of those types of week where we've
Second
seen
leg, it's Tommy
so
to
many
throw
high-level
first.
performances.
Game on.
He's just not had that extra gear. Any other week, Paul, he may well have
6.
done enough.
Absolutely. I've got no doubt about that. You stick Białecki in last week's Group B, I think he gets through. But here's a thought for you.
140.
As Białecki leaves us, he was the last player to beat Luke Littler here.
100.
He might be the only person who ever beats NIKO Springer here.
Yes.
We don't know what NIKO's going to do on Saturday night and beyond.
Well, we've seen evidence that
140.
if he plays his absolute top game, he could run riot tomorrow night.
He absolutely could. And if it wasn't for
100.
Białecki, Springer would have had the chance to equalise Bo Greaves' record of an undefeated week. It's still only been done by Bo.
100.
Yeah, that's... Although she played absolutely stunningly.
It was frightening at times.
100. Sebastian, you require 121.
She had 114 average on this stage, which is 2 points better than NIKO's best. And the person on the end of it? A certain Kevin Painter.
96.
That was almost a 12
Tommy, you
darter.
require 141.
Well, he's doing his best to go out with a bang, isn't he?
Interesting. When he hit his 9,
89.
he went treble
Sebastian, you
19.
require 25.
That's far enough away to have space.
9.
And he finds the gap.
Tommy, you require 52.
He was on the London Tube. They would have said, mind the gap right there.
How's he found the gap and not found the double?
Tops.
Game shot on the
Very
second
well
leg,
pitched by Tommy.
Lichman.
It's not going to be a double Tommy on Saturday night either.
Third
Apparently,
leg,
there's only room for one Tommy in this town.
Game on.
And we're not going to get what Tommy believes is the #1 ranked ginger player from Yorkshire. Lishman will come again.
41.
He will play ADC darts. And he will want to be back in 2025. Make no mistake. There will be a lot of ADC tournaments at the back end of the year.
134.
You do special things there. Invites are incoming.
Yeah, the rewards are certainly there now for the ADC players, not only in their own tour championships and global championships, but of course the big carrot is winning a week here, or getting here, winning a week and winning a Champions Week. It's serious, serious money.
99.
You think about Robert Owen. Around about the time we came from Southampton to Portsmouth, that was around about the time where Robert was almost
83.
guaranteed a tour card.
Sebastian, you require 128.
The amount of money he earned leading up to that, yeah, gave him stability.
I gave him an insurance policy, didn't it?
80.
Gave him that freedom to be committed to the tour full time.
100.
And not everybody
Sebastian,
gets that
you require
financial
48.
opportunity to solidify what they need before they go to the biggest tour in darts.
Game shot on a third leg.
Sebastian,
Białecki.
you'd have to say, is tour ready. He's learned an awful lot over the last couple of
Full
years.
flag. It's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
But he's going to have to find that extra 5% to survive there.
It would be interesting to get his take on
100.
where he thought his game was and where it is now. And at the moment, he's averaging 97 and looking comfortable enough.
45.
Right on cue, of course, 45.
What we can say is that we wish him all the best at the World Championship qualifier in Slovakia in a couple of weeks. If he gets through,
he's got to be on the short list, surely,
60.
in terms of who you'd fancy to qualify.
He's right up there with Romeo Gerbavats for me.
How many do get through that one?
1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
83.
literally no room for error.
$41.
That qualifier apparently is on the same weekend as the Czech Open, which to me doesn't make sense.
No.
85.
So for people going to the qualifier, that field might be slightly depleted. What would you rather do? Have a chance of going to the
100.
Palace? Well, I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
No, you'll get just too much hate, Nico. Let me do it instead.
100.
You should want to play at Ali Pali at Christmas. Trust us on that.
Yeah, if your ambition is to be a pro player, I get the Bow thing.
86.
But that's a different scenario. She's a defending world champion.
That's a whole different kettle of fish. And Bo is doing exactly the right thing.
100. Tommy, you require 100.
The right thing here is to equalise. A bit like this. Double 18.
96.
Ooh, that had a look.
Sebastian, you require 88.
Double 14 for a 2-leg cushion. Brilliant dart.
On the fourth leg, Sebastian Białecki.
That reminds me of something that our friend Tim Vine, the comedian and big darts fan,
Fifth leg, it's Sebastian to throw first.
His exhibition very recently at Sutton United Football Club. Had a lovely night there with a bunch of darts fans from the local area. He had a pillow on the stage.
140.
It had 2 legs on it. He said, "This is my 2-leg cushion." Absolute genius.
He is so funny. And a huge,
45.
huge darts player. And not a bad player.
He's not bad at all. Looking forward to seeing him over Christmas time. He'll come to the Worlds.
Yep, we always have a catch-up with him at the Palace.
99.
I wonder what he would make of NIKO Springer's activities over the last couple of nights.
56.
Oh, and he's right up to speed with the darts, isn't he? He's not just sort of like a casual fan that enjoys it. He's on it.
Oh, that's a bad dart, but it's still a lead of 219 points. Tommy's challenge for spot 4 in the table. It is
75.
withering. Chooses to switch.
96.
Proves to be a very good idea. It very much looks like Białecki will win his final match
90.
in the Modus Super
Sebastian, you
Series.
require 85.
Double 14. Press pause.
Oh, the only way it'd be closer is if it's in.
Seb is a very hard young man to read, but right now
108.
we can see from his facial expressions that he knows this is possibly the last shot. That is the last double he will hit on this stage at the Modus Super Series. And from all of us over the last couple of years, it's been a pleasure to watch Bolt grow from the age of 18 to 20. And it is so long for now. And we hope, and take this the right way, we hope we never see you again on this stage, because it means you can go and have a brilliant pro career. He's had some great highlights on the stage, winning on a Saturday, being in a Champions Week and hitting a 9-darter against Anton Östlund. But for now, it's Białecki 4, Lishman 1, and it's Springer, Duff and Robinson through. The end of the show is now, and it's going to be me and Mace just doing a little bit of analysis towards the end. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, and this is what we've seen over the last 10 games. We've seen a very good night for Neil Duff and for Rhys Robinson, but nobody could stop NIKO Springer tonight. He showed the best of pretty much everything, winning the most points. The leg difference is absolutely sensational, and NIKO is actually joining us here in the studio right now. NIKO, many congratulations.
Thank you.
A really great debut, and now you're going to get to play in front of an audience on a Saturday night in Portsmouth.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that moment. Yeah, it was a tough group. I think everyone could be on Saturday night and could have won this tomorrow. So I need to play really good to get through, and yeah, I've done it.
Chris asked you a question off the air, and it made us laugh a little bit because he asked you, can you play better? And you said, yes, I think my scoring can be better. Well, you hit a lot of 180s in this group, and it's quite frightening to think that you think you can hit more.
Yeah, I think I can hit that more. I see it in the training, but yeah, on the stage and against so much good players, it's of course difficult, and it's all new to me, and I try to progress and yeah, just to develop a lot. I'm still young, and I will take any chance to make it even better.
You must be really pleased with the way you played against Neil Duff, averaging over 112. So when you say you can play better, we wonder where you can actually go, because you've beaten a former world champion with the best average in the entire series. So nobody has done that over the last 10 weeks.
Yeah, I think I played my worst game yesterday against him. So yeah, of course I knew he was a world champion, former world champion, and I need to play good, have a lot of respect. So yeah, I think it was for me important to just start the day with a good feeling and show that I'm here, that I want to play on Saturday night, and yeah, I think I've done it.
Well, one thing we can show you now is who he's going to be playing against, because this is how the week has progressed. Tommy Morris won Group A in the first 3 days. Over the last couple of days, we've seen some great drama and some fantastic standards over Group B and Group C. David Davis of Wales will join the former world champion Richie Burnett. NIKO, who is sitting with us here, has won Group B, and the former world champion from a couple of years ago, Neil Duff, is going to be joined by Rhys Robinson, who Rhys looked a bit uncomfortable towards the end. We hope he's going to be okay on Saturday night.
Yeah, that elbow looks like it can do with a bit of a rest, and my best advice, having suffered with that for years and years and years, just wrap it in some anti-inflammatory and something with some ibuprofen in, and wrap it in clean film so it just literally continues to enter the pores of the skin and hopefully get some kind of relief around that elbow.
What are your thoughts ahead of Saturday night, NIKO? What are you looking forward to the most?
To be honest, I just want to have fun, to enjoy the game, and yeah, it's the best experience I can get, and yeah, just play darts.
Would you like to know who you're going to play against in your groups?
I've not already, but...
He's too smart, mate. Of course he's going to know.
Well, what we can tell you, I'm afraid you don't have a choice, but we're about to tell you
He probably worked out before we did.
You're in Group 2 with David Davis and Rhys Robinson, so you're going to have another game against Rhys. And David, who was very, very good, winning his last 6 games in Group C, so that's who you've got on Saturday night.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't care, because I know everybody who makes the Saturday night will be good, will be a tough opponent, so I need to play a very good level, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, looking forward to watching you play, because over the last couple of nights you've really entertained us with some fabulous scoring and some great doubling. Many congratulations. Mace, can't wait for Saturday night.
Yeah, I couldn't wait for this Group B when we knew it was happening a few days ago. So yeah, Saturday night's going to be special, and there'll be a few there that are grateful not to be in his group.
Yeah, you don't want to miss...
Me included.
You don't want to miss Saturday night, because let's face it, NIKO Springer will go in as favourite. Not that I'm trying to put any more pressure on him. He doesn't want that from anybody. But we've got a double dose of darts for you on Saturday, because at 12:30 this afternoon, we've got the finals of the ADC Winmore Tour Championship to come, and lots of possibilities there, including Neil Duff in that one. He's got a double day ahead as well, because on Saturday night, Neil Duff will be here to see if he can win Week 10 as well. Make sure you're with us for the double dose of darts from 12:30 on Saturday. We look forward to seeing you in around about 11 and a half hours. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. We're signing up for now. Good night.